Hi friends, this is Nagajyoti working as an assistant professor in Department of ECE in St. Peter's Engineering College. So in this session, let us discuss a topic of a combinational circuits. So in this session, I am going to cover the topics Introduction to Combinational Circuits, what is meant by a combinational circuits, block diagram of a combinational circuit, examples of a combinational circuit, and how to design a combinational circuit with an example. Basically, the digital systems are of two types. One is combinational and the other one is sequential. A combinational circuit is defined as a circuit in which the output at any instant of time depends only on the present input. But whereas a sequential circuit, the output of a circuit depends upon present input as well as previous output. So in order to get the output, it need to store the previous values. So in case of a sequential circuit, we need to use a concept called as a memory element. But whereas in case of a combinational circuit, it doesn't need any memory element, and the complete design structure of a combinational circuit consists of logic gates. So this is a block diagram representation of a combinational circuit. So a combinational circuit consists of 2 power n possible combinations of input variables, and the number of input variables and the number of output variables depends upon the type of the combinational circuit which we are using. And these combinational circuits are used in order to perform a specific functions, and all these combinational circuits are available in the IC form, and depending upon the type of the IC, that is depending upon the number of logic gates in an IC, these combinational circuits may be small scale, medium scale or large scale. So in case of these combinational circuits, the number of logic gates will be varying from 10 to 100. So all the combinational circuits are available with medium scale integrated circuits. Coming to the examples of a combinational circuits are adders, subtractors, decoders, encoders, multiplexers and code converters. So here what is meant by adder circuit itself indicates which will perform a operation of an addition. If a circuit is performing an operation of a subtraction, it is called as a subtractor. If a circuit is used in order to compare the magnitude of the numbers, then it is called as a comparator. So such a comparator is called as a magnitude comparator. If the circuit is converting one form of code to the other form of code, then it is called as a code converter. So let us go for the design procedure of a combinational circuit. So in case of a design step of a combinational circuits, it consists of basically 5 steps. The step 1 is state the problem. That is, first we need to identify the problem and we need to understand the problem. And the second one is, from the specifications or from the problem statement, we need to determine how many number of inputs and how many number of outputs are required. And then we need to assign a symbol or a variable for inputs as well as outputs. And the third step is we need to write down or we need to derive a table which gives a relation between input variables and output variables. Such a table is called as a truth table. And the fourth step is, from the truth table we need to write down the SOP expressions for each output, which is called as a Boolean function. And for how many number of inputs are present in a truth table, that will represent the number of variable K map. and the number of outputs represents how many number of K-maps we need to draw. So whatever the Boolean function which we have written, we need to simplify that Boolean function either by using a postulates or theorems of a Boolean algebra or using a K-map. So if we are using a K-map, the variable K-map depends upon the inputs and the number of K-maps depends upon the output. After simplifying the K-map, we need to draw the logic diagram, whatever the expressions which we are getting from the K-map simplification. Depending upon that, we need to draw the logic diagram and we need to verify the correctness of the design either manually or by simulation. So let us see with an example. So here the problem statement is we need to design a code converter which will convert a BCD to XS3 code. So from the problem statement we can find out the input is a BCD number system and the output is a XS3 code. So before understanding the number of inputs and outputs, first we need to understand what is meant by a BCD. So here BCD is nothing but a binary coded decimal in which it consists of 10 numbers and the valid numbers are ranging from 0 to 9 and each number should be represented with a 4 bits binary equivalent. So here the maximum number is 9, the 9 equivalent is 1001. So in case of a 1001, as we are having 4 bits, so the number of inputs required for a BCD are 4 and we need to assign symbols for those 4. So here I am assigning the input symbols as A, B, C and D. Similarly, the output should be a XS3 code. So here the XS3 code is nothing but adding +3 for each and every individual BCD and we need to represent in terms of a binary. So the minimum BCD code is 0. So 0 plus 3 is 3. The equivalent of 3 in XS3 code or in the binary equivalent is 0011 and the maximum number of BCD is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 equivalent in binary is 1100. So in case of 1100 also it represents 4 bits. So the number of outputs required are also 4. And here I am representing the symbols for each output as W, X, Y and Z. So in this example, the number of inputs are 4 and the number of outputs are also 4. As the inputs are 4, we need to draw 4 variable K-map and the outputs are 4, we need to draw 4 variable K-maps. So before drawing the 4 K-maps, the first thing is we need to complete the truth table for each input combination. So under ABCD, we need to write down the valid BCD numbers in its corresponding binary format as 0 to 9. And for that, we need to add +3 for each input and we need to convert that into a binary format and we need to complete the truth table. After completing the truth table, we need to write down the SOP expressions for each output so that it will be easy to identify the numbers in a K-map. So if we observe the first output column, that is W, under W we are having ones at the corresponding inputs as 0101 which is equivalent to 5, 0110 which is equivalent to 6. So I can represent W equal to sigma m of 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And as I am saying, we are using a 4 variable K-map. The 4 variable K-map consists of 16 cells 0 to 15. But at the input side, we are not having any numbers 10 to 15. So whatever the numbers which are not there at the input side are considered as the don't cares. So 10 to 15 are don't cares and the remaining SOPs are represented according to the ones which are present in the corresponding columns. Similarly, the SOP expression for X equal to sigma m of 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 plus don't cares of 10 to 15. And similarly, we need to write down the expressions for y and z. So this is a K-map representation simplification for BCD to XS3 code conversion. As we know that we are having 4 inputs, we need to draw the 4 variable K-map. And as we are having 4 outputs, we need to draw 4 K-maps. So if we observe that the expression sigma m for W is equivalent to 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So under the minterms of 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, we are writing it as ones, and 10 to 15 are considered as a don't cares. Here don't cares can be taken either to 0 or 1 depending upon the simplification factors which we require. So if we take all the don't cares as ones, we'll be getting one octet. So the combining or grouping of 8 cells is called as an octet. So in this octet, the corresponding minterms will vary from 8 to 15. So 8 to 15 are present for the last 2 rows and all the columns. So as it is covering all the columns, all the column variables are going to be cancelled out. So it is left over with only 2 variables of the corresponding rows of A and B. If we observe the A and B, there is a common point of A which is equivalent to 1 and B is 1 as well as 0. So if the variables are opposite, that term will be going to be cancelled. So if we are combining 8 cells or if we are grouping 8 cells, we will be getting an octet with a variable of A in this example. Similarly, we are having ones at 5, 6 and 7. We cannot group 3 variables. We need to group only in powers of 2. So instead of grouping 2 ones, if we make it as a quad, we'll be getting 2 variables. So we are grouping 5, 7, 13, 15, which will give an output of BD. Similarly, if we group 6, 7, 14, 15, we'll be getting a term of BC. So W equal to A plus BC plus BD. Similarly, we need to perform the same procedure for X, Y and Z. So if we perform the same procedure, we'll be getting an expressions for X, Y and Z. From these expressions, we need to draw the logic diagram. So the simplified expressions which we got is for W, A plus BC plus BD. So if we observe that B is common in between second and third term, so we can write it as A plus B of C plus D. Similarly, Y equal to B bar C plus B bar D plus B C bar D bar. We can take B bar common in the first 2 terms, so B bar into C plus D plus B into C plus D whole complement according to the De Morgan's theorem. And X equal to CD plus C bar D bar. You can perform X as XNOR operation, or it is also represented as CD plus C plus D whole complement, and Z is equivalent to D bar. So according to the expressions, whatever the expressions which we are getting by using the logic gates, here we are going to draw the logic diagram for BCD to XS3 code. So here we got Z equal to D bar. So we are representing A, B, C, D inputs. From the D, you need to connect it to the NOT gate. So the output for Z equal to D bar. Similarly, by using AND or AND inverter gates, we need to draw the complete logic structure for W, X, Y and Z. This is how to design a code converter which will convert an input BCD to an XS3 code. So this is a next example which is nothing but an half adder. So here, as we know that the adder is a circuit which will perform addition. Here half adder itself represents it is having the capability to perform addition of only 2 bits. So as we are saying, it is performing addition of 2 bits. The number of inputs are 2, that is x and y. Whenever we are performing an addition operation, we'll be getting two outputs. One is sum and the other one is carry. So here 0 plus 0, which is equivalent to sum is 0, carry is also 0. 0 plus 1, sum is 1, carry is 0. 1 plus 0, sum is 1, carry is 0. 1 plus 1 in terms of decimal is 2. The equivalent of 2 in binary is 1, 0. So carry is 1, sum is 0. So we need to draw two variable k maps of 2, one for sum and the other for carry. So if we observe the carry column, we are having only 1 1, which is having the corresponding inputs as 1 1 for variables x and y. So we can directly write down carry equal to xy. Similarly, for sum, it is x bar y plus xy bar, which is equal to XOR of x and y. So this is the logic diagram of a half adder. So the first circuit represents, we are using a basic logic gates of AND and OR gates. But the second logic diagram represents, instead of using an AND and OR gates, we are replacing two AND gates followed by an OR gate with an XOR gate. So the expression for sum is x XOR with y and the expression for carry is xy. So in order to represent dot, we'll be using an AND gate. In order to represent an XOR operation, we'll be using an exclusive OR gate. Coming to the next one, designing of a full adder. So in case of a full adder, instead of using two inputs, here it is using three inputs. So the number of inputs are x, y and z. And whatever may be the number of inputs, always whenever we are performing an addition operation, the output contains only two. One is sum and the other one is carry. But whenever we are performing addition operation, it need to perform bit by bit. Means first perform x plus y, whatever the result which we are getting, that result should be added with that of the z. So whenever we are getting a difficulty, if there are more than one ones at the input side, add those numbers in decimal, convert the decimal equivalent in terms of the binary and write down the sum as well as carry in terms of the binary. Let me take an example of 111. So 111 equivalent is 3. If you divide 3 with 2, you will be getting 1 with remainder 1. So sum is 1, carry is also 1. So from these sum and carries, we need to write down the expressions for sum and carry. So in case of carry, we are getting the ones at inputs of 3, 5, 6, 7. We need to draw the three variable k map as we are having three inputs and two k maps, one for sum and one for carry. For carry, we are having ones at 3, 5, 6 and 7. 6 and 7 are adjacent, 5 and 7 are adjacent, 3 and 7 also adjacent. So combining all these three adjacencies, you'll be getting an expression for a carry. Similarly, if we draw the k map for the sum, there is no adjacent cells. All the cells are isolated cells. So you won't get any simplified for the sum. You need to write down the corresponding direct expression for the sum. Whatever the expressions which we are getting for sum and carry, from that expressions, here we are drawing the logic diagram. The first represents the logic diagram for the sum and the second represents the logic diagram for the carry. This circuit is designing a full adder circuit by using a half adder circuit. So we have seen that in case of a half adder circuit, it consists of an XOR gate for sum and AND gate for carry. So the same XOR gate is propagated with the third input so that you'll be getting a sum for full adder circuit. So here the first part represents half adder, second part is also represents half adder. These two outputs of an half adder circuit is connected with an OR gate, which is used in order to represent a carry. So this is a structure of a full adder circuit with using two half adder circuits and an OR gate. Thank you.